Immigration policies have a great impact on who stays and who leaves the UK. And with the constant immigration changes, some people are forced to leave, even though some still stay. Right now, Mark just released a detailed report of who stays and who leaves. So stay tuned, let's go straight into it. My name is Tochi, you're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so it could reach more people. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are welcome back. And if you're yet to subscribe, please do so right now. It's free and it's easy. Guys, we all know that UK changes immigration rules constantly. I think it's not just the UK generally. Most countries change their immigration rules from time to time. And for some people, because it's unfavorable, maybe doesn't favor their situation or their visa condition, they will be forced to leave. And for some others, they leave a country because it's just life to move from one place to the other. So now Mark has just broken down who stays and who leaves the UK in this recent report. And guys, you need to watch this. Everybody needs to see this. So now guys, it's a very long read on the government website. I'm not even going to leave here if we try to go through it one after the other. But luckily, Guardian has broken it down for us in a way that we're going to understand. So it's still the same thing, but Guardian just broke it down. So MAC is Migration Advisory Committee, okay? It's an independent body that advises the government basically on immigration matters. So they look at data, statistics, trends, things going on, you know, and it helps them advise the government better on immigration matters. When it comes to jobs that are in demand or skills that are in shortage or sectors that need people, you know, MAC would advise the government if they need to create a separate visa pathway for such occupation. So they see how things are going, know how to advise the government on the way forward. So they just basically advise the government regarding immigration matters, okay? So when they do all these things, they now write a letter of their observation and, you know, of their reports and then of their advice and their recommendations to the government. So it's now up to the government to now look at their advice and see what they can implement or see what they can do regarding the advice. So it's basically up to the government to either take their advice or not. So right now, they've now brought out a report recently about who stays and who leaves. Now, UK's higher earning immigrants may be driven out by tougher rules, reports suggest. So higher earning immigrants are less likely to remain in the UK long term and could be further deterred from staying by the government's planned crackdown on settlement rights, analysis have revealed. So a report from the Migration Advisory Committee, who stays, who leaves, follows about 900,000 journeys between 2014 and 2024. The research is intended to help understanding of long-term migration patterns and the possible effects of policy changes on labor shortages, population forecast, and the public finances. So Mark said, our analysis suggests migrants earning the lowest wages are the most likely to remain in the UK long term, while there's some evidence that those with the highest salaries, 125,000 and above, are the most likely income group to leave. So why is this? In fact, saying this already, we already know the obvious reasons why, you know, because obviously if you're earning more, it means that you have a global talent, you know, recognizable skills and talents that you can use to go anywhere and easily get a good job to any country of your choice. And it's going to be easier as well with your skills, your earning potential to just work your way to any country of your choice, you know. And if you don't obviously upgrade yourself or upskill, you're likely going to remain in those kind of jobs because these things are getting competitive by the day, you know. That's why you hear people saying, oh, if you want to get a skill now, try to get skills that are globally relevant, skills that you can easily use to work anywhere in the world, any country at all of your choice. So, like I said, these higher paid migrants may benefit from more global opportunities and lower financial barriers to moving elsewhere. So reducing the incentives to remain in the UK longer term. So for example, if you are highly skilled and you feel, oh, the UK is not paying you enough salary, okay, it's not paying you as much as you deserve, and you hear from your colleagues that people in the US or Australia or Canada or Netherlands are earning more, you could just easily apply, and you know that with your qualifications and your skills, you're likely going to get the job. You get, so that's just the logic, right? It's not magic. And then Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, proposes raising the baseline qualifying period for settled status in the UK from 5 years to 10 years. Now, this is another reason that many people might likely be leaving the UK, right? And Mark have also seen it. They've foreseen what's going to happen, and I'm sure they also put it in this year report. So the proposal says those who meet certain criteria, including higher rate taxpayers, could qualify for discounts that would reduce the wait for indefinite leave to remain back down to 5 years. However, Mark's report warns that stricter rules could discourage higher earners from remaining in Britain. Yeah, they basically say that this new rule might likely cause high earners to leave the UK because it's no longer attractive, and it's not generous for them to stay anymore, because imagine staying in the UK for a longer period of time, and then now they're now saying what applies to you is going to be different from what applies to your dependents. Like, every individual is going to be treated independently. So it's just a lot, and this might also cause high earners to leave the UK. They also said that this report does not provide the percentage of higher earning migrants who have left the UK over the period, but I, for one, have seen so many people leave the UK, okay? Like, so many high earners, professionals, people that I met here. Some of them I met, some of them I know. Some of them I've come to know. I met them in the UK, and all of a sudden they are no longer here. That is why sometimes when some people say some things, you don't really understand. Like, you think UK government makes decision based on hearsay or what people think. No, they have the records, they have data, statistics. It's not by emotions, it's by facts. They act based on facts and numbers. That's one thing I want everybody to understand. And they've proved this to us over and over and over again. They would have sat down with the records, with the data, everything. They would have sat down, they would have tried to understand, bring in professionals, experts, people who would help them understand it, and then advise on what best to do. And it is based on that advice they would now act and make certain decisions. Because sometimes some decisions they make might even backfire. Some might lead to outrage from people and everything. So they don't just act based on emotions. They must have thought about some things thoroughly before they make decisions. Analysis found the UK is retaining younger migrants. Those aged under 45 had an 81% 5-year stay rate, compared with 65% for those aged 45 or over, who were more likely to have established overseas ties and fewer opportunities for job mobility. And meanwhile, immigrants earning under 40,000 and health and social care workers demonstrated a high commitment to remain, with 94% of nurses staying after 5 years. This was quite surprising to me when I read, but I want to hear what you think about this. Are you shocked too at this information, just like I was? I don't know why I was shocked. Maybe because I've seen people leave and seeing that 94% of people are still here and have remained after 5 years, or do they leave after 5 years? I don't know, but guys, just let me know what you think in the comment section. Maybe it's just in my head, right? Or maybe because of what I'm seeing on social media, people are now saying, oh, we left the UK. Oh, no, we are no longer here. We're now in a new country. Maybe that's why. And the fact that you see 2 or 3 videos does not automatically mean it applies to everybody, to be fair. So yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. Now, the lowest stay rates were among natural and social science professionals, predominantly academics, only 57% of whom remained after 5 years. These people were probably driven by short-term contracts and internationally mobile career paths, the report noted. So yeah, like we established earlier, if you have a career path that is internationally recognized and that you can easily get a job with anywhere, you have skills and qualifications that can get you into any room, get you into any country, then you shouldn't have any reason to stay at a place and just be taking anything they dish out at you, because you know that you're an asset. You shouldn't be in a place where they're not paying you well, or the immigration rules are not favorable, or a place where you're just not comfortable, you're struggling paying your bills and everything. So it's going to be easier for you to just pick up your bags one day, put in a new application to a different country, to a different employer, and move. And when you get there and you feel like, oh, I deserve more, you pick up your bag again and leave. So it's easier for people like that to get a job anywhere, any kind of job that they like, compared to people who might have no skills or who are low earners or something like that, just as Mark has established. People from Africa and South Asian countries have the highest stay rates, and people from North America, Oceania, and East Asia had the lowest. London was the region most likely to retain migrants, while Scotland and Wales recorded the lowest stay rates. So basically, people move out from Scotland and Wales, and most times I think they move to England, right? Sometimes they move to England because England has more opportunities. And from what I've seen on social media again, and from people's experiences, obviously you're leaving Scotland, you're leaving Wales, so this is what they have recorded. And for Africans and South Asian countries having the highest stay rates, that's not surprising, okay? That's not surprising at all. I don't know why it's not surprising, but I also want to hear what you think. Is that surprising to you too? Although standalone figures were not provided, women were about 5 percentage points more likely to remain after 5 years than men, in part reflecting that women are more likely to work in health and social care. And beyond individual tax contributions made by lower paid migrants, the report said that there were broad societal impacts, such as the wider fiscal impact of a well-functioning care sector, to consider. It added, the fact that younger workers are more likely to stay than older workers pushes the fiscal contribution upwards, since younger workers have more of their working tax-paying lives ahead of them. So I don't know if this report actually means that things are good or things are bad. I want to hear what you think in the comment section. But what I've gotten from this so far just means that everybody should try and upskill, so that you can easily you can have options. If you have skills that are in demand internationally, you have options, okay? You're not just tied to a place or to an unfavorable condition or anything. It's better to have options. So it's now up to you to decide if you want to stay or want to leave. After I read this report, this was exactly what came to my mind, and I just thought to share, right? And I want to hear what you got from this report as well. This report from Mark, what was your take home? I want to also hear what you think, and I want us to continue this conversation in the comment section, all right? So yeah, that is it, guys. Any other thing that comes up, trust me to let you guys know, to keep you updated always, because when you're updated, it will help you to make well-informed decisions, okay? Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.